lodge. And when they acquired the north end of camp, they moved the gate and went in there. And you remember the old, some of you do, the old buildings that were there. And so that was what you couldn't see from Pat's home. So Pat got a group together and said, you know, we need to do something about this. And we've got an ideal place for people to help check in and see that the troops were taken care of and all of this. And so he said, what do you all think about this? And I was trying to think of the number of men that were around when he was talking with us. But they said, well, yeah, sure, we can do this. And he said, all right, as though he hadn't already planned it. And how many of you knew Pat? Ron, you remember how he was? Everything was right down the line, and this is the way it's going to happen. Isn't it? So he pulled out his plan and said, this is what we're going to do, and went through what was needed. Be there, be sure that Scoutmasters check in, find out the number of boys, go down and check the campsite, be available to tell stories at the campfire. Before they check out, be there to see that the camp was as good or better shape than it was when you checked in. And said, do any of you have any problems with that? Well, you don't have any problems. Not when you've got a plan to go by. And he had the plans. So that was the establishment of the camp. I was going to tell you some things about me, but well, I will anyway. I've been registered with the Boy Scouts of America for 76 years. I started my scouting in Troop 80 at the Baptist Church, and it folded up. The preacher didn't think it was a good idea to compete against the Baptist boys group, and so they just closed down. And had Bob Bagley saw me at a softball game and came over and said, Oren Lee said, why don't you come up to Presbyterian Church and join the scout troop there? Said a lot of your friends are there. And on Monday night I went up, and sure enough, James Black and Brennan and that gang was there, and so I was there, and I received my Eagle in 1940 from James E. West and Carter Daniel Beard. In the 16th, that was in April, and by the way, they didn't come to present an Eagle. They came for the national meeting. The national meeting that year was held in Oklahoma City, and we had a circus going on that was our money raiser back then. And so, had 3 sessions, and we had 12 eagles. 4 were presented at each one of the sessions. Beard was, he was an old man. They had him in a covered wagon pulled by oxen that came into the ring, and he got out and met the chief scout executive that came out of the stands, and they made the presentation. And Beard asked a question. His question was, now that you've got it, what are you going to do with it? And that's a stunner. I tried to figure that one out for a long time. 16th of April of the same year, I went on active duty for 1 year. The war was going on in Europe, and the president called the National Guard to go to train and be prepared, then they'd come back. I was a junior, just started my junior year in high school. So, Pearl Harbor, I was in for the duration. I spent 511 days in combat in World War II in Europe. I came home. The Boy Scouts of America back then, anyone that was in service was carried on their rolls as in service. That's why I've got that many years of, with no break in services, you might say. So, I came back, went to Korea in '50, and came back and got involved in the program, and I became a Campmaster along with that group in '61, and I was a Campmaster until '78 when I moved to Arkansas to teach in the National Guard Professional Education Center over there we call NEGPEC. And then when I came back, nobody asked me to come back to be a Campmaster. But I continued my service. I was on the regional training team for 40 years. It was changed to wood badge, and Ron, if you remember, your wife was on the regional committee with us, and to keep her from coming to meetings, she couldn't be wood badge, so they called it the wood badge committee. And so the regional training changed to keep your wife from being on that committee. I'll talk too long about nothing. I had a whole bunch of things here I'd share with you, but have any questions about something you've heard that I might be able to help you with?